방역 현장에서 일하신 분들이 성심성의껏 그리고 투명하게 정보를 공개하면서 시민들의 동참을 유도하고 있다는 측면에서 우리나라 방역 체계는 안전하게 보건 체계가 잘 작동을 하고 있다, 그렇게 생각합니다.
이번 코로나19 사태가 아마 전 세계적으로 이 감염병에 대한 태도를 바꾸는데 굉장히 중요한 그 전환점이 될 것 같고, 국경을 잊어버리고 이 감염병에 대해서 가장 과학적이고 합리적으로 대처하는 데 대한 연대가 필요한 거거든요.
Hey guys!
Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing okay in whatever situation they're in at the moment.
We want to talk about something important.
So we want to talk about some important things that are happening in the world right now and to do with COVID-19. So this video is part of a campaign called Hope on Hate Off.
This campaign is at the moment in Korea.
So we hope you realize how important it is that we talk about this stuff. So briefly, how do we fight this disease? So you're probably doing things at the moment like social distancing or quarantining. Social distancing is general advice for everybody, so that means staying home almost all the time, only going out for essential things. So for work, for buying essential items or solitary exercise. Now you find social distancing quite difficult, right? Because
It's really difficult because my job, part of my job is meeting people.
and you're a social butterfly.
I am.
Yeah, so it has been difficult for you to reduce all the things that you've got to do.
And I have FOMO.
You have a what?
FOMO.
FOMO, yes. Fear of missing out. Hands up, people who are like that. I'm okay. I'm an introvert, so it's been okay for me. But it is really important to do that, and we're flattening the curve by doing that. And the other thing people might be doing is quarantining. So this means if you've been in another country and you're coming back into your own country, or you've been exposed to the disease in some way like that, and so you're staying home and definitely not going out and no contact with people at all. So those are vital things. Also the things like, of course, washing your hands, not touching your face that much.
And wearing the mask. And in Korea, most of people are wearing the mask.
Almost the whole population in Korea is wearing a mask, and we do that because there's asymptomatic people in the population, people who have it that don't know and are going about their normal lives, and so the mask use reduces that. However, there are a lot of countries that just don't have enough masks for the whole population to wear a mask when they're out. And so in those countries, it is important those masks are there for the medical professionals first. Now, this is really important. It's important to not blame specific groups for this current crisis. Unfortunately, there's been a really big rise in hate crimes against Asian people around the world, right? So I was just reading an article from the US that the FBI is actually warning this, that there is going to be possibly even more rise of hate crimes against Asian Americans.
That's really awful. Not only in America, also in European countries,
Many
and also
countries.
Australia as well.
Yeah, it's so horrific and ignorant for someone to target someone because of their race like that. That's why it's so important that we use the term COVID-19 when we're talking about this disease. This comes from coronavirus disease 2019. And coronavirus refers to the family of viruses that this disease comes from. It actually took weeks before an official name for this disease was decided on. This is because the name of an illness affects how people think about it and how they think about other people. So they had to find a name that does not refer to a geographical location, an animal, an individual, or a group of people, and which is something people can pronounce and is related to the disease. This is really important as a way to avoid spreading panic.
So name of this is really important.
So the name plays a really big factor in how all this plays out. And now we have all definitely seen this before. Names are weaponized in a way that stirs up racism, and racism against certain groups of people. So in the beginning, this was being called the Chinese virus, right?
Yes.
And we know now not to call it that, because as soon as they have that name, we call it COVID-19, and it's important to call it that instead of something like the Chinese virus. So in Korea, what were people calling it?
Wuhan virus in the beginning.
In the beginning. And so now we're trying to shift people over to saying COVID-19. The Korean city of Daegu had a very big outbreak early on, right? And so a lot of the news articles and stuff, and people were calling it the Daegu virus, right?
And people started saying, don't call it Daegu virus.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Daegu people are not all
Not a
in
virus. And it's really important how we talk about these things.
In Korea, it was quite difficult for Chinese people because people thought all Chinese people have this virus, but which is not true.
Not true at all. So there's been a lot of Chinese people in Korea, and then Chinese Korean people that have had to deal with racism and that type of ignorance. So the irony is that Asians outside of Asia are being targeted, and then Asians inside of Asia are being targeted as well. And so for this campaign, that's why it's really important to talk about that we should have, be hopeful and helping people, not hating people. Just because it originated in China does not mean that Chinese people are carriers of it. It doesn't mean that Asian people are carriers of it, and people need to be educated about that. This is why this message is so important. There should be solidarity, not blame. While this is happening in the world, it's important to protect not only people's health, but also their dignity. There's also other campaigns that are promoting this message as well. There's campaigns where people who are Asian are saying, I am not a virus, right?
Not virus.
No. It's important to see people, as humans, not a virus. Nobody is a virus.
We don't want other people call us have a virus, right? So we should stop calling Chinese or other people virus as well.
It shouldn't be called Chinese virus. It shouldn't be called Daegu virus. It shouldn't be called Wuhan virus or anything like that. There is an official name that has an aim to stop that type of prejudice and to stop that racism. So on another note, I also want to talk about, if you're at home, you're stuck at home and you're not doing as much as normal, but you are feeling so tired. I think a lot of people are feeling that at the moment. And that's your body trying to cope with the weight of everything that is happening, the seriousness of it, grieving the way that our life used to be. Suddenly everything changed like that. And that's your body trying to cope with that. So you are going to feel tired like that. You're going to feel down. So self-care is really important in this time, and it's important to be kind to yourself as well, because the times we're living in are not normal.
So remember, hope on, hate off.
We're also thinking about all the medical professionals out there and the amazing job that they're doing and all the stress that they're under. So thinking about them, praying for them, please keep them in your thoughts. Stay safe. And we will talk to you again soon later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.